What's going on, Built by Bai Team? Thanks for checking out this week's Bendy stretch class. Today, we've got a Mother's Day special. We're going to be doing a stretch class designed for moms. And moms, especially being a mom is a full-time job. There is so much happiness and so much stress that comes along with it. And I know for me, there's been times my body feels so broken down. So, some really common areas that moms struggle with pain or tightness. It's going to be a lot of our back, our neck, our shoulders, our wrists, things like that, just from lifting kiddos up all day. So, this class is designed for our mamas for Mother's Day to focus on all of those kind of areas that take a beating down from motherhood. So, find a comfortable place that we can get a good stretch in, and let's get started. Alrighty, mamas. So the first one that we're going to start off with is going to be a standing forward fold. This is going to help stretch out our posterior chain leg muscles and into our low back as well. And this is a really common position that we're picking up our littles off the ground. So we're just going to let our top half hang really heavy and reach down for our toes. So I'm getting choked by my necklace. But again, I want you to feel a good stretch maybe in your hamstrings, maybe in the tops of your calves a bit, into the low back area. Just take some big, deep breaths and try to sink a little deeper into it each time. We'll hang out here for about 3 big breaths. But I hope everyone has had a great Mother's Day or is having a great Mother's Day whenever you're watching this. One more big breath. Got to take care of each other because, man, oh man, we know motherhood is not easy by any means. So for this next stretch, we're going to do a butterfly forward fold. So you're going to take the soles of your feet, pull them into as close as you can, and then we're just going to sink down into and let our top half be heavy and sink as close as we can to the floor or feet in front of us. This one you're going to feel in your hips, maybe into your low back a little bit. It could also be groin as well. So this is going to open up a lot of important areas that just kind of pick up some tension, especially if you have littles, you're picking kiddos off the ground. Even if you're an if you have older kids, they can create some stress. And a lot of times we like to store that stress in our hips. So this is a really good one. Give me 2 big breaths here. With each breath, I want you to try to sink a little heavier into it, fall a little deeper. One more big breath. Beautiful. Okay, come out of that one for me. We're going to go ahead and lay flat on our backs. We're going to do a lumbar twist. This is one of my favorite stretches. So before we actually get into it, especially where we just did a lot of bending in our backs, I want you to just take some big, deep belly breaths laying on your back and just kind of let your spine decompress. You can have your legs bent, you can have them straight wherever you're most comfortable. But big inhale through your belly, trying to expand and get as much air in here as you can. The more we're in control of our breathing, the better. And I know Ashton definitely makes me catch my breath a couple of times, to say the least. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to lay with our arms at a T angle. I want you to twist your hips a little bit. Let's go ahead and start with sending our right leg over our left and creating that lumbar twist. Ideally, we want to have our knee on the floor or the bench, wherever you're stretching, and then have our shoulder, our opposite shoulder, so our right shoulder in this case, pinned to the bench as close as possible. And again, this is one that we kind of like to clench through, try to push further into it. But if you feel like you're clenching or squeezing any muscles, let it go. Today is about reducing stress and relaxing and enjoying the day with our family. So this is going to be a really good one to help with that. This is one of my faves. If you're struggling, if it doesn't feel deep enough, you can also grab your leg and pull it up higher into you. If you're on a surface, you can let this leg dangle. That'll help get more of a pull in like the lower body portion of this. Kind of feel where you're comfortable and just let it go. Go ahead and switch sides for me. We're going to angle those hips. I'm going to stay on this side just so you can see what's going on. Straighten out that right leg, or you can have a slight bend, whatever you're most comfortable. Send your left leg over your right while keeping your shoulder relatively close to the ground. If you need some extra support, you can use your right hand to pull that leg down a little deeper into it. But same thing, like clenching a lot through my back and my glutes. Biggest thing is just big, deep breaths and let it go. We don't want to flex a lot throughout our stretching, like our flexibility training. We want to try to relax into it just to see better progress that way. It helps turn off our fight or flight response, especially when we're pairing it with appropriate breathing, so that we can maintain better results that way. Big, deep breaths into this one. And if you feel like you can twist a little bit more, use that hand to pull that knee. Maybe look into your left hand. Add some of that stretch into your neck and just take some big, deep breaths for me. Beautiful. Oh, that is such a good one. And it always makes my back feel 8 billion times better. So, again, we're going to come back to just the rest of this class. I'm pretty sure it's going to be done from our back. So, again, we just get to relax into this one. We're going to go ahead and do an overhead lat stretch. And on this one, I typically don't bring this up a lot in our stretch classes, but I am going to have you arch in your back a little bit. So, you're going to push your butt into the floor, into the bench wherever you're stretching. But you're going to do it with your arms overhead, extend through those lats as much as possible, arch through your back. And we're just going to do one hold here. Let it go and come back to a natural or a neutral spine where we're going to have a slight arch in our back, but nothing too intense like we just intentionally did, pushing our butt into the bench. Okay, moving on, we just did our lats. We're going to work into our wrists. So I know for me, especially like getting up and down off the floor, picking up Ashton, throwing him, catching toys, like it is just go, go, go sometimes. And our wrists take a beating and we typically neglect it. So I want you, let's go ahead and start with our right hand. We are going to go ahead and extend that overhand. You're going to grab your fingers, even your thumb in there a little bit, and pull those down towards you. I want you to feel the stretch in your wrist, maybe into your forearm a bit here, but just big, deep breaths. But wrists are off like a really common place that get neglected. So it's important to make sure that we're maintaining good flexibility. This is also good for helping strengthen them as well, especially if you are doing the Built by Bai workouts where we do a lot of stuff on our wrists, planks and push-ups and renegade rows, all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be a good one to give it the TLC it deserves. Go ahead and let that one go. Go ahead and do some circles each way with that wrist before we go ahead and work to our left hand. Same thing, extend that hand overhead and pull those fingers. Even try to get that thumb in there to make sure it's an even stretch across the wrist. And pull down. Big deep breaths for me. Beautiful. Good. Pull down, get a good stretch through there. Hold for about 5 more seconds here. Let it go and go ahead and do some wrist circles on this one. Try to create those as big as you can. Beautiful job. Okay, working into our neck a little bit. Again, we're going to just do this one laying down. I want you to put this hand behind your back. So this is just going to go into that like little arch that we do have on our back. With our right hand, grab the left side of our neck or the left side of our head, and you're going to pull your right ear to your right shoulder. And we're going to try to create a stretch through this left side of our neck into our trap. This is a really good one if you struggle with migraines, if you're stressed out. A lot of times we hold that stress in our traps in our neck. So Let's go ahead and open that one. Try to draw your shoulder down away from you to help intensify the stretch. And big deep breaths. So we got a good relaxing Mother's Day stretch going on. Truly no better way to start the day. Give me 2 more breaths on this side. Kind of go at your own pace, and if you feel like you can fall further into it, go ahead and do that. On that exhale, go ahead and let go. Same thing, this right hand is going to go behind our back. We're going to use our left hand to grab the right side of the head, pulling our left ear to our left shoulder and creating a good stretch through the right side of the neck and maybe into the trap or the shoulder even a little bit. And again, we want to, anywhere we're tensing up or clenching, besides this left hand that we're using to pull us deeper into the stretch, relax, let it go. You can kind of find what's comfortable if you want to send your legs straight. If you find yourself trying to elevate the shoulder, if that's too intense, you can just keep your hand right next to the side of you. Putting that hand behind your back will make it a little bit more intense, but if you're struggling to relax or if you got any pinching or cramping going on, you can go ahead and just put that hand right next to your side. Couple more breaths here. On that exhale, go ahead and let it go. And just look from side to side, checking how well we're moving throughout our neck. And kind of sit up. Give it a nice little squeeze, pulling that chin to your chest just to really finish off the cycle with our neck. Then last but not least, we are going to do the happy baby yoga pose. We work so hard as moms to have happy babies, so we're going to do the happy mama stretch, whatever you'd like to call it. You're going to grab the insides of your feet. You can grab onto your big toes, kind of whatever's comfortable for you, and you're going to pull those legs into you. This is a good one for your low back and your hips. Again, you might feel this in your groin a little bit, but I do want you to just kind of rock back and forth. You can rock up and down, whatever feels most comfortable. I want you to just really listen to your body and see where you're personally needing that stretching a little bit more. But taking big deep breaths here as we bring this week's stretch class to a close. Give me about 10 more seconds here. And again, on that exhale, go ahead and let those feet go. Come to a seated position. That is all of our stretch for this week's Bendy stretch class. Thanks for checking it out, mamas. I hope everyone's having a great Mother's Day. Hope we're ready to make it a great week. Knowing that you are taking the time to lead by example for your family and fill your cup first, it helps you show up for your kiddos better. It helps you show up for your family better. So make sure that, yes, we are using today to celebrate moms all over, but make sure you're taking that time for yourself day to day to fill your cup so you can show up in all those other areas, because you are counted on, you are important, you work hard for your family, so you deserve to fill your breast. But thank you guys for checking out this week's stretch class. If there's anything you'd like to see in the future, please let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends and family about it. I just want to be able to help more and more people, and I can't do that without you. But grateful for you guys. Let's go make it a great week, and I will see you on next week's Bendy stretch class.